Hello everybody, Russian Batman back with another showcase. And in today's showcase, this is going to be a Marvel Rivals showcase. I am very excited to do this. I've been playing a lot of Rivals, and so I was like, you know what, make some customs. So I figured it's topical and it would be a cool idea. So for this video, I've made 6 figures. This isn't going to be like a shorter showcase. Yeah, because some of my showcases also like, oh, it's like this showcase. It'll only be like 2 figures from whatever IP. But this is 6 figures, so I decided to do 6 because I thought it would, when I was making them, I thought like, well, it'd be cool if I did a full 6 because in the team, when you play Rivals, a quick match, you compete against 6. You have a team of 6 and you're competing against a team of 6. So, and I actually have an even amount of each class. So I've made 2 tanks, 2, which are called vanguards in the game, 2 vanguards, 2 healers, and 2 strategists is healers, and then 2 duelists. So yeah, let me just start showing off some of these figures here. First one I want to show off, let me show off my my duelist first. The first duelist I have here is I have Moon Knight. So remember the fact that I made Moon Knight because if Potato Mean, who you should definitely go subscribe to, if he makes one, he's copying me. So if he makes rival figures, just know I did it first, so get wrecked. But no, so I made this Moon Knight. This is probably the one I'm maybe least proud of, just because Moon Knight's design in the game is really cool, but it's really complex and hard to make. I don't think I properly captured a lot of the details on his chest. However, I did the best I could, and like I said, dealing with all that white paint was sort of a nightmare, but I'm relatively happy with how it turned out. Don't have any accessories for him, but I gave him this. This is one of the newer cape pieces. I want to do this one so I can paint on the cape, and it would be relatively easy. But yeah, nothing much else. I used the same, obviously, hood piece from Moon Knight. Like I said, I'm not super happy with this guy. However, I do relatively like how he looks. I'm not like completely disappointed by him. But he's definitely probably one of my lesser favorites of the showcase. But yeah, I do like how his cape turned out. I do think that looks good. And yeah, I do think he looks good next to everyone else. Just on its own, he's not my favorite. Next up, this is a figure I'm really, really happy with. This is Wolverine. I think this guy looks sick. I love everything about it. The only thing is that when I did this yellow paint, you can see it's a little bit like, it didn't go on super smooth. Like, see the blue paint on his shoulders? That went on smooth, but if you look at the lighting, the paint didn't go on smooth, which I'm not so sure. I need to maybe just get better yellow paint. But I'm super happy. First thing is, I changed the shape of his claws. If you see the little Wolverine claws, they're different than the normal ones. They're meant to be kind of more angled and more, I guess, like comic booky shaped, to reflect how his claws look in the game. He actually has 2 expressions here. So he has this kind of enraged he has this enraged expression, and he also has this kind of more default expression too. And I really like how both of them turned out. Also, this hairpiece, it's a normal hairpiece, but I sculpted on the sideburns. So I like how that turned out. I do wish I could have maybe done a little bit of a better job with the sideburns, but I still like how they look. And the biggest thing is his arms are bulked up. As you can see, they're way thicker than a normal Lego arm. And it's mostly to match up with the shoulder piece, which is not completely sculpted by me. It's actually just, let me see if I can find an example of it. It is like one of the Knight shoulder pieces. Hold up, let me see if I can find one just laying around here. Okay, here's an example. Like one of these shoulder pieces, it's cut up, so it's only that top little bit of it. So, and I thought that would look great for Wolverine. And yeah, I know this design in the game's a little bit, some people don't like it, just because, it's just kind of like a jacket. But I do like how the figure turned out. And yeah, then dual molded legs. And yeah, I'm going to give him the angry expression because I really like that angry expression. And he can have a team-up ability with a later character. I'm sure you know who. But yeah, so there are the duelists. Ooh. Do some fancy edit to the video. I probably won't, but that'd be funny. Next up, let me show off some healers. All right. First healer I want to show off, and this is the most recent figure I made, is the Invisible Woman. I like how this turned out. I kind of just made her because I wanted to make, as soon as I had the idea of doing a full team and doing like an even set of each character, I knew I needed another healer, so I decided to make her because I thought she would be pretty easy to make, and she actually was. I didn't know new molding. A lot of the other characters were very mold heavy, where I had to make a lot of new molds. I didn't want to make a new mold, so that's why I chose her. I thought about making Rocket, but I ended up on a Sue Storm. As you can see there, I did paint her back as well. And then the arms. And I like to give her this piece to represent kind of the blast she has. And yeah, and that's pretty much, oh shoot. I was originally gonna do a joke where I put no figure on there and said I had Invisible Woman, but you know, I ruined it. But yeah, and this hairpiece, it doesn't match super well. However, I think it's good enough. I didn't want to sculpt a new one. And it's just, yeah, it works in my opinion. I think that face works really, I think that face works well. But yeah, there you go. There is the Sue Storm Invisible Woman. So that's our healer. And next up, I'm going to get a different little actually, no, I can still use this as display stand. Here we have the one, the only, Jeff the Land Shark. This guy is a completely just new mold. Yeah, he can attach to Lego pieces. So here, if I'm gonna put his back feet, attaches to those studs. It's not attaching super well for some reason. But like here, like this foot can definitely do. Is there something in the way? Yeah, there you go. There you go. He can attach to studs. And that's pretty much it. That makes him Lego, I guess. I did use an interior structure of Lego to get the feet placement right. And then the rest, I packed a bunch of tin foil inside and I sculpted around the outside with my Milliput. And yeah, I really like how his side profile looks. I don't know if I'm in love with how it looks from the front. I think his eye placement might be a bit off, but I do love how that mouth looks. And yeah, and I have seen, and so just to show you how he looks compared to a normal minifig, that's about the size he is. Now, you might think he's a little bit big. However, in the game, he's actually quite large. I have seen other people use like a dog piece as Jeff the Land Shark. However, I think that's way too proportionally small. So that's why I went this route to make him bigger. But like, see, yeah, next to some figures, he does look a bit big. However, he's not as big as a normal shark, and I still think it fits in the context. And a lot of Lego things are a little bit oversized, but I still think it works, and I'm really happy with how that turned out. So those are our two healers for the team. And last but certainly not least, we're gonna need some tanks. So let's get a bigger base for this. Boom, we're gonna use this little display base. And who should I show off next? You know what? I'm gonna show off the one big fig we have for this, and this is the Hulk. I am super, super happy with how this guy turned out. So for this guy, I didn't just use a normal big fig. I actually used normal big fig, but I chopped off the head. This is like an older Hulk, so it's not the Hulk we can remove the head. I chopped off the head, and I gave him a smaller head because the Hulk in the game proportionally has a very, very small head. And so I can show you basically, hold on, let me try to find a good example. However, I've seen people use customs where they'll take the head off a normal Hulk and they'll put on a minifig head, which I think is a little bit too small. So I compromised. I went in the middle. So here, let's see here. So as an example, here is like the size of a normal minifig head. So you can tell it's bigger than that, but it's not as big as, I used to have one of those Hulk big fig heads. Oh, here. It's not as big as, this is the size a normal those big fig heads would be. So it's not that, and it's bigger than that. And the way I did that is I actually 3D printed a head, and that's the size it is. So this is a minifig, and I didn't just 3D print it for the head. Actually, I 3D printed for another reason for this next figure. And I took that leftover head that I didn't need, and I used it for this Hulk big fig. And I'm super happy. So you can see here he has that little belt with all that little detail in there, with the little purple shirt that's ripped up. I outlined all his muscles, and I gave him a little bit of, there's some little highlights in there as well. And yeah, and kind of just wanted to make him look like the rivals. And I'm just super happy with how that face turned out. The face and the hair, I think, gives it away that it's Hulk rivals and just not another generic Hulk. But yeah, I'm super happy with how this Hulk turned out. And let's get on to the last but not least, Vanguard. And this is, ooh, hold on, let me raise. Actually, I'll use this thing again. This is Thor. I am super happy with how this Thor turned out. Now, he's not on the studs because this is what I was talking about. I 3D printed a minifig to be, I think 30% bigger than a normal figure. I've done this before. So, for example, here's like my old Thor. I've just made into a bigger minifig. And if I compare him, let's put him next to like Sue Storm. You can tell that there is a big size difference because Thor is really big in the game. So I thought this would fit. And I also did something a little bit different. Usually when I do the 3D print, I usually give him the arms that are printed with the 3D print. However, this time I actually gave him Hagrid's arms. So you can see here, these are Hagrid's arms, and they just clip in like they normally do. So no like weird connection there. And then I changed the proportion of the torso. So usually torsos, Lego torsos will taper in. So it goes like inwards like that. This one tapers just straight up. So it doesn't even taper, it just goes straight up. So it's a very boxy torso, and I thought it would fit. This hair piece, this hair combo thing was a pain to make. All right, sorry for the interruption. But as I was saying, so this Thor figure, so yeah, that hair was pain, so it ended up just gluing it in place, which I do regret because I would like to change out the face for the lightning eyes, but it doesn't really matter. But I made the beard also intended to be a piece of the hair helmet combo. And yeah, and then his hammer here, I ended up, like I said, gluing a brown stick, and then I also put this little tassel at the end to represent, so when he kind of like when he's, you know, throwing the hammer and when he's like getting dragged by it. And yeah, and then like I said, he has no cape because in the game he doesn't have a cape. And yes, there's his back design, but I'm really happy with how this turned out, and I do like his design from the game. I know, like I said, a lot of people are iffy on, like, you know, the no cape, but I do like the no cape, and it's easier for me because then I don't have to make a big cape. So yeah, I did also make, well, I didn't make anything. I do also like to give him little electricity to represent in the game when he, you know, doesn't have, there's an ability where he can get rid of the hammer for a bit and just throw electricity at people. But yes, I like to, you know, I might pose these figures and do some like little photo ops and, you know, stuff, because I do like how this turned out. But yeah, and if y'all like this, leave a like, subscribe. If y'all want to see more Rivals figures, leave some suggestions. I would love to make more. If I do another showcase, I want to do another big showcase, another 6 figures, ideally 2 Duelist, 2 Vanguards, and 2 Strategists. And leave some suggestions. I definitely want to make maybe Rocket. I don't want to make Iron Man. I'll let Tato do that. Potato Man can make Iron Man. But yeah, but leave some suggestions for more characters. Maybe I can make the Doom from that game, even though he's not playable. But yeah, y'all have a nice one. Go watch the 2011 film Rango. If you're new to the channel, we got more stuff here, so go check it out. We also have a Discord, link in the description. And yeah, 2011 film Rango. Go watch it. Enjoy. Ciao. Bye-bye. Go play Rivals too. Oh, yeah.